I'm feeling a little better. I'm telling you that tea with ginger does the trick. So I'm having a little, oodles and noodles. Because my stomach was a little queasy. Watch it. I'm a smack lip. So for those of you Virgos that are like a little bit sheepish, okay? Mm. Garlic and onion soup. Like Wendy Williams, like delicious. Well, anything from me is delicious. Okay, let's continue with Lilith. There's a lot written about Lilith. A lot of wrong stuff written about her. Right? Oh, I am getting a call, unfortunately, and I will not be able to answer this call. Oh, wait a minute. I might have to. Yes, hello, you're on the air. Good, I'm on the air. You're on the air. Say hello, sir. What's your name? Good, I'm on the air. Patrick, say hello to everybody. Everybody at Patrick says hello. Well, how can I help you? Yes, sir. Make it quick because we're on the air. And 30 minutes. Will you be interested in a birth chart reading so I can book you right away? Or a tarot reading? Because I have a busy day and a tight schedule. It's 150 for a tarot reading per hour and $250 for a birth chart for the year. Well, is it a yes or no? Because I don't have the time to talk more about it. Absolutely. Okay. Understand that the dark angel is what Lilith is referenced. The dark angel. Now, what the hell does that mean, the dark angel? That's why giving a more logical explanation suits us. But sometimes the logical explanation can be bland compared to the reality of the situation, which may not be logical at all. It's actually quite outrageous. Understand something about Lilith. The Bible talks about her not wanting Adam to be on top of her or to dominate her. That's not true. In my meditations, no. There was two adulterated gods in human form. And one wanted to do one thing and one wanted to do another thing. This somehow caused a disbalance in which Lilith, who was more of an archon than a human, would not submit and subjugate. Lilith, honestly, was one of the fallen angels that slept with Adam. The Jews refer to Lilith as a demon. Now, what did I tell you? There's no such thing as demons or angels. That's another bullshit terminology ascribed by the church. These are archons, lower beings. The Bible does talk about these beings having sex with humans and creating the Nephilim and other beings of a horrific nature. I truly believe that this is the situation with Lilith. Because what the Bible doesn't tell you, because the Bible is so fucking. Let me tell you how these thugs, these corruptors of history, what they've done. I don't believe for a minute that this was a sexual situation. Lilith was able to procreate and create. It was Lilith who wanted to dominate Adam. She came out of him. But you will never know that. Because the church has you believing the opposite. That the rib was taken from a man to make even. Bullshit. There is some truth to it, but we're going to get back to it in a minute. The reality is that these fallen angels, we're going to use the term for simplicity, had sex with the daughters of man. Now here's the bamboozle. They didn't only sleep with women. These beings also slept with men too. To this day, men can handle a woman's pussy. A woman can turn a man out in that department. Okay? Lilith was too strong of an essence to dominate man. No. Lilith was too strong of an essence to be dominated by man. That wasn't what was supposed to happen. What was supposed to happen is that they were supposed to be equal in creation. But the one who chose not to be equal wasn't Adam, it was Lilith. It makes sense. If I give birth to a man, how can he be equal to me? I mean, he's equal to me because he comes from me. So if I'm God, I'm going to beget another God, right? So there's equality here. But here's the thing. Lilith wanted to control the show. Kind of like Gaia controls the show. Because of the imagination of Gaia is why we have creation. Lilith was no different than Gaia. She had the right to imagine, but now she was given form. So now she wanted to create. And according to the rules of the balance, the woman is the imagination. The man is the action. Lilith wanted to have both. Be the one to imagine creation and also mold it in form to her liking. This would cause a clash with Adam, who was not considered as important in this grand scheme of creation because he himself was a product of the creation of Gaia, or in this sense of Lilith. This is what caused the disruption of harmony between the two. It's like the two cannot get along. So the upper gods casted Lilith outside, out of creation.
Yes, yeah, he's in. I just want to tell him happy birthday.
What was that, sir?
I just wanted to tell him happy birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
come on in. Happy birthday.
I don't feel like coming back down.
Oh, okay. So you understand that Lilith was the enemy, but not because of what they tell us. In order to demonize her, they made the excuse that she was too sexual, and therefore man could not control her sexuality. That's not true. Yes, if you're a creator and you're Lilith like Gaia, you can have strong sexual proclivities. You're a god, a goddess. Why not? No different from Adam. So what was the difference? What was so horrible about Lilith's sexuality? that caused all of the gods to cast her out. Doesn't make sense. What makes sense is that as a creator, an imaginator, and one who can now make form or take shape or put creation or imagination into form, that took away from Adam. Adam is the one that creates the form. If we deal with masculine and feminine principles, Gaia or Lilith is the imaginator, and the man is the one that creates and gives form to Gaia's imagination. But Gaia is still the boss. Lilith is still the boss because she creates and man came out of her. Man did not have the concept of imagination to create like Gaia or like Lilith. So Lilith, it says that she was casted out. I don't believe that. She left to create other worlds where she will be the boss outside of our solar system. That's what really happened. And she became demonized and was made to be something to fear at night. To fear. When a man does this all the time, and he has done this throughout history, they demonize the woman, or they belittle or devalue the female or feminine principle of creation. Because at the end of the day, man cannot create. He can only form and execute. The true master and grand architect of the universe is Gaia, who creates with imagination. Adam was jealous because he did not have this faculty. So he sought to dominate the feminine principle. And the feminine principle was not having it. Look, bitch, you came out of me. Well, how are you going to tell me how to create? The arrogance of the male energy can be seen even then. This is what caused the rift. So therefore, the gods were, well, this bitch is unmanageable. She wants to create and she wants to give form to her imagination. That's not her job. Her job is to create through imagination. Let the male gods take form of Gaia and give and make life and structure and matter. Lilith wasn't going for that. She wanted to do both. That's the true story of Gaia, which is also Lilith. Above is Gaia, below is Lilith. Are you getting it? Okay? So Lilith represents more than they're telling us. I mean, understand that in order to have a congruent harmony of yin and yang and of balancing forces, all of creation has to cooperate. And there was a lack of cooperation. This division caused a split and caused this God to go off and create multiple worlds, but still influencing this one. And how does it do that? It's not actually clear in the mythology. And we don't have enough information because a lot has been lost in antiquity to fully understand the actual machinations that caused the split. This is what is considered also the fall of man. Mixing the seed of the sons of God with the daughters and sons of man was a mistake. An archon should never have been mated with a human. The gods were not going to make that mistake again. So they made Eve and they made man, but they caused man to be higher, and he was to dominate the concept of Gaia in the human female. That way, creation can progress slowly. If the woman was to lead, we will be already gods. Because the woman is a great liberator. Man is, or the concept of the male energy, is the executioner and also the enslaver. So in order to spark creation forward, but with a specialized agenda, the feminine principle had to be put under control so as to not usurp the powerful instinctive drive of form that is attributed to the male. The male will have to play catch up to the imagination of Gaia. So therefore, the concept of Gaia or the talent of Gaia had to be stopped and had to be diminished. So the male gods, turned against Lilith, like they turned against Gaia. It had nothing to do with sex, but sex was used as a weapon to devalue the woman, as is being done today, to keep her suppressed. By suppressing the sexual energy and the libido of the woman, you are suppressing her creation, her imagination. And this is exactly what was needed in order to create a semblance of the above down below, but in a way that was more manageable and more controllable than all of the gods having their own independent energy to do whatever they want. This was not a concept that could have been given to humans, or humans would have been just surpassing the gods if they were given the same spark. So this had to be denied to man. And that is what caused man's progress to slow down. And we're still to this day, because the earth goes through so many successive rebirths, it's almost like a clean slate, and humanity begins all over again. And in every epoch that humanity begins all over again, there's a new layer of cloak of what happened in the past that is not quite clear to us. And a lot of this information has been lost in antiquity. But the original imprint of the history of this particular solar system still remains. The Akashic records, everything is recorded. Everything exists in nature. Nothing is lost. The concept of Lilith, which has become demonized as energy and creation moving forward in a fast pace, was something that terrified the gods. Because then that means the human race will advance too quickly to become gods and overthrow the existing gods. This was the power and mystery behind Lilith. So Lilith in the birth chart represents equality. Equality in sex, in government, in business, in everything. But this was denied Lilith because she wanted to imagine but also bring form to her imagination. And this was not something that was allowed when we're dealing with the feminine polarity. This belongs to the masculine polarity. So in a way, yes, Lilith did rebel. But it wasn't because Adam wanted to fuck her and Adam wanted to dominate her. They made it sexual. It wasn't about that. He wanted to have creation and create creation equally as Lilith does. The problem is that Adam came from Lilith. So the one who's the boss is Lilith. And Adam didn't like that. And this caused a rift because Adam is a complete God and so was Lilith. This clash. So separating the sexes was probably a bad idea according to the lesser demi-ancient gods. So they had to reinvent the whole scheme. So they overthrew the first Adam and Lilith and created Adam and Eve made of the same human flesh instead of an archon and a human. Now you understand? So now they can be controlled. And the serpent, who was another extraterrestrial, another lesser being, tried to warn Adam and Eve of the scheme of Jehovah. But by then, it was too late. Man fell into a trap set by the same God that created them. And hence begins the story of the human evolution to this day. We could have been gods long ago, but the demiurgic God, along with the archons, put a stop to it. And here we are. So Lilith in the birth chart represents that area of the horoscope where you are equal as a woman or as a man, not just to God, but to creation itself. And to be equal means to embrace the shadow and the darkness in you. When you do that, you're on your way to becoming God and merging with the source or overthrowing the gods that are in existence. This is what the epic wars of mythology talks about. There's always an epic war going on among the gods because the gods can die and be replaced by other gods. We one day will become gods to replace those that are ruling us. And trust me, the upper gods don't want that to happen too quickly. It's deep. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Well, I pour me a glass of wine. Thank you guys for being so patient. I run out of yellowtail. Okay. So, are we clear? I know it's a little sketchy and it's a little complicated. And trust me, it gets more complicated than that. But that is the actual essence of Lilith. So understand that Lilith in the horoscope is going to represent where the best part of you, the God part of you, is being denied. Either society denies it in you or you deny it in yourself. Wherever you see Lilith is where the God in you can be tapped. But there are consequences, like the Kundalini energy. You tap into that, and it can shoot. You can lose your mind. You can lose mental stability. These are very strong primordial forces, primitive ancient forces that predate man and even the archons themselves. So this is like plutonium gone loco. Lilith represents the explosive, creative, imaginative nature of Gaia within us. And if we touch into that, we will become as gods. But it's not going to come without a price. Because, like I mentioned, as above, so below. God is not perfect. Not this one. Because we're not perfect. As above, so below. So our God of our solar system is evolving. Just like we down here below are evolving. So wherever Gaia is found in the horoscope is where you also need to evolve. And if you choose the point of Lilith, which is also Gaia, then you're going back home to becoming God. But like Hercules and the 12 trials of Hercules, it won't be easy. It's a journey and a fight. And the enemy are the gods that don't want you to get to divinity and become as them. Because then when that happens, they will be overthrown. Like it says in Clash of the Titans, if men become as gods, then what shall happen to us? What will become of us? You need to watch that movie, Clash of the Titans, the 1980s version. I'm telling you, they tell you the shit. They tell you. Guys, donate. Venmo, remember. And we're done with part 2. Now we can go into it.